The decision around disclosing your diagnosis to your employer is a personal one, and it's a really important one to think about, again, even before you start applying for jobs, but definitely through the interview process, and certainly, once you've got the job. Make a clear decision as best you can heading into the job application process, what you'd like to do here. Again, you are not mandated at all to disclose your medical history to your employer. They can't ask about it in an interview. I will say it's possible when you are applying for a job online that you might get asked a question if you ever have had cancer or disability, and there's a yes, no, or prefer not to say option. I've been shocked to see that, but that is something they can ask. But again, you can say, prefer not to say. And again, as you go through the interview process, they can't ask you about your health. That being said, there may be scenarios in which it behooves you to share a bit about your health. For example, if you are planning to ask for reasonable accommodations, should you get the job, disclosure may be something once you do have the job that you might want to share as you're deciding whether or not to accept it, or you're talking with the hiring manager. You don't have to disclose your actual diagnosis in order to request reasonable accommodations. You can, just say that you have a health condition that requires that you have, medical appointments periodically throughout the year. So, you just want to make sure that the employer is going to allow you that time to go to those appointments, or, whatever the accommodation may be that you're asking for. So keep that in mind. Again, disclosure, it's a gradient. It's not, all or nothing. So you don't have to just go in and, say on, September 19th, 2011, I was diagnosed with this rare disease and it comes with all this. That's not necessarily what disclosure looks like. And then also, sometimes disclosure actually really, really benefits you in the job process. I know I was in a unique situation wherein I was applying for patient advocacy jobs. So I thought that my patient experience could actually come in as a strong suit and be valuable to the employer in terms of me being the right fit for the role. So I made the conscious decision to share about my diagnosis and how I thought that was going to help me do the job. I know that's unique and that might not be everyone's case, but if you are looking for a job in the rare disease community, it's possible that your health history may actually come as an advantage, and relevant job experience. So again, something to keep in mind. But ultimately, the decision is truly personal. No one can force you to share about your diagnosis, and you just have to think through: is this something that you know you need to do because you're going to need to request accommodations, and if not, is it something that would benefit you in the workplace? For example, you might want your colleagues to know about it. Just some folks feel more comfortable being in a workplace where people know. If you have a visible disability, it's possible you might want to provide additional context. So again, just all things to think through. There's no clear-cut answer on how to decide whether or not you should disclose, but just spend a lot of time thinking through. And also do some research on yourself online. If you are a rare disease advocate, it's possible your rare disease medical history may already be online to some degree. So don't forget to Google yourself and see what's already out there about your medical history, because if you can find it, your future employers will find it as well. So again, all stuff that you can keep in mind as you think about whether or not you want to disclose in the process.